everybody, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Leader Class Robots in Disguise, Scourge, otherwise known as Black Convoy. The character is an evil clone of G2 Laser Optimus Prime, and that is exactly what this figure here from Hasbro is. Basically just a straight up redeco of Optimus that we saw as part of the first wave. However, despite this being a repaint, I think this may be the better out of the two. I just think the black and gunmetal colour scheme really does look terrific, and I know there are many out there that have been waiting eagerly for this Scourge over the original Optimus Prime. Now we'll take a closer look here at the details of the truck mode, as always looking fantastic. For those of you who watched my original review of Laser Prime, you guys know that I thought the actual alt mode was fantastic, and it's no exception here with this figure. You can see as far as the sculpt work for the front is concerned, it looks as great as ever, this time completely decked out in a little more of a darker gunmetal. That looks so nicely done. The headlights have got some transparent purple, and the same can also be said here for the windscreen. The metallic purple plastic that it has been cast out of looks awesome, almost as good as a Takara offering. I really do think they've knocked it out of the park, and you can see some nice teal highlighting around the windows, as well as some nice striping details here on the front of the hood. As we just take a look here at the top, you can see some of these lights picked out in that same teal, and as we just spin our attention here to the side, once more of those lovely looking paint details, and the hubcaps fully decked out in that gunmetal. As we just take a look at Scourge here from the back, you can see looking really impressive. Just overall a fantastic looking repaint. Even here from the side, you can see the attention to detail of them highlighting some of the outer panels of the side windows. Just such an awesome looking repaint. Now, as far as the actual oil tanker is concerned, this too is a straight up repaint of what we saw from Laser Prime, but really nicely done. The entire sides of this have been fully coated in a metallic silver, which really does make some of the details pop that perhaps went missed on that original version. You can see the caps there too, also fully decked out in a gunmetal, and as we just spin our attention here to this side, exactly the same. Now we can flip out this kickstand so that you can prop this up if you don't decide to display it with the truck mode, or much like the original version, we can fully open this up into an almost battle station, which will also reveal the newly decoed weapons. So just open this section up, of course, take this piece here, fold this around and down, and then fold out this claw, and that there is supposed to be the battle station with the turret at the top, which, like the original version, is detachable, so we can utilize this as a weapon when in robot mode. And as far as the new weapons are concerned, you can see here that we get the same blade cast out of, once again, a fantastic transparent pink. This just looks so awesome, and is a really nice throwback to that original Robots in Disguise Scourge. And the same can also be said here for the shield. Now, if you do decide to completely disregard the trailer, we can actually store these weapons here in the truck mode. So here for the trailer bed, you can see we do have two cutouts that these two tabs will peg into. So just lock those in there like this, and then as far as the sword storage is concerned, here on the underside we do get two slots that these two tabs will peg into. So just align that up appropriately, and there is Scourge with all of the weapons that were originally stored away in the trailer now stored here in the truck mode. Overall, a very nicely done looking repaint, and as mentioned previously, as far as repaints are concerned, I definitely think this may have turned out better than the original version. Now, turning here to a comparison, we have the Velocitron Scourge on the left and the original G2 Laser Prime on the right, and you can definitely see the notable differences in regards to the colour scheme. I just think that transparent plastic that they've used here on Scourge looks so much nicer, and does in fact actually help conceal some of the interior robot mode kibble. And as we just take a look here at the oil tankers, you can see that this time around Scourge has got this really nice metallic paint app, whereas for the most part this trailer for Laser Prime was essentially just bland grey plastic, which still looked great, but I definitely think the silver does allow some of those details to just pop. Once again, it's really going to come down to personal preference as to which is the better out of the two. I really do think that Scourge, however, does take the cake and really makes this mold his own. I just think that black colour scheme, along with some of those purple transparent highlights, really does just make him look like a force to be reckoned with. Now, turning to transformation, to start off firstly, I like to come here to the sides and just collapse the gas cans into the thighs. We can then come to the feet, hinge them forwards, as well as the heel spurs all the way down. And then in regards to the forearms, you're just going to want to detach them from these tabs on the truck bed. We can then hinge these sections out to the sides, and of course rinse and repeat the same process here for this side. And now the entire truck canopy will actually detach and hinge up and over, which will allow for some clearance when we're trying to pull the arms around in just a second. You'll want to split the front half here of the truck and just angle the shoulders here out to the sides. I personally recommend lifting these flaps up just so that you can kind of see what's going on in regards to the torso. We can then hinge the hips all the way down and then hinge this section up, bring the chest piece forwards, and then fold out the front grille until it does click there into place. And then as far as the shoulders go, bring those around, hinge these sections here out to the sides, flip up the robot mode head until it actually snaps there into place, and already you can see some awesome wickedly evil light piping going on. Trust me, this guy's got some of the best light piping that I've seen on a mainline release for quite some time. We can then take these panels, collapse these sections in, and they will peg into this back piece, snap this down, rotate all the way around, take these kneecaps and just hinge those until they snap into place, and then break the legs apart. As far as this is concerned, we can snap the shoulders into place and rinse and repeat. Rotate here at the biceps and then just flip out the hands from within the forearms. And do the same here, of course, for this side. You'll then want to collapse the shoulders in until they actually click into place. Fold these flaps down. And then as we just spin our attention to the back, fold out this filler piece, snap the backpack into place, and then we have the Legacy Velocitron, robots in disguise, Scourge / Black Convoy, fully transformed up into his fantastic looking robot mode. And this is undoubtedly got to be one of the best, the ultimate repaint that we've seen for quite some time. It's quite unusual where a repaint comes out after an initial mold and literally blows the previous version out of the water, and that in my opinion is exactly what this Scourge has done from almost every single angle. This guy just looks fantastic and really does seem as if though the mold was always created to suit this robots in disguise Scourge color scheme. I think it just looks terrific. Now, as we take a closer look here at the details, the face sculpt in my opinion looks so much better than the original version. Not only is the light piping on point, but the metallic blue or teal highlights that we've got here for the side of the helmet really does just make the sculpt pop. You can see some nice gunmetal silver used there for the mouthpiece. And of course the crest. As we spin our attention down here to the entire chest unit, they have decided to once again go with that almost metallic pink / purple hue to the plastic, and I still think it looks awesome. You can see some of the interior matrix details beneath this piece, which we'll touch base with in just a second, and very similarly to truck mode, you can see some of those teal highlights all the way around this window section. It's just been painted so nicely, even here for these pieces, fully decked out in paint, and some gunmetal there for the grille. As we take a look here at the shoulders, these for the most part have been comprised out of two components. So we've got some solid black plastic at the back and then some purple transparent pinkish plastic here at the front to kind of give you that energon infused look when you lift up the missile flap. So you can see there the missiles this time completely decked out in that really nice looking plastic, and they have decided to give us the upside down inverted G2 insignias, which I thought was a really nice attention to detail. Just overall, it's such a nice throwback to that original robots in disguise character. And as we take a look here, even the darker gunmetal plastic that they've used for the biceps looks awesome, really complements some of the black plastic that we've got here for the forearms. Would have been cool to have seen some teal paint apps here for this section, but nevertheless, still some very impressive looking sculpt work going on. And you can see those kneecaps there have got some nice highlighting, and just all the way down here to the actual lower section of the leg. Very nicely sculpted. I just think that in all, it's a terrific looking figure. Now, as far as articulation is concerned, the head can look up and down ever so slightly and kind of tilt side to side. We do get a full rotation left to right. As per tradition with this mold, the actual shoulders themselves are fixed into place. However, you can hinge them inwards to create just a slightly more dynamic look, which is actually how I've always displayed my Laser Prime on the shelf. These pieces can hinge out of the way to accommodate the arms going forwards that far, as well as back roughly to that far. They can hinge out to the sides. Full rotation at the bicep, 90 there at the elbow, as well as a full wrist rotation, full waist rotation. The hips can kick forwards that far, back to that far, out to the sides, rotation at the thigh, way past 90, only on a single hinge joint here at the knee. And then finally, as far as the foot is concerned, as per tradition with this mold, we do get some fantastic ankle pivots. So definitely a fantastic looking figure. For those of you on the fence with the G2 Laser Prime, and perhaps you've been holding out to see how this Scourge / Black Convoy repaint would turn now, I definitely recommend to jump on this, as I think the figure for the most part has turned out glorious. Now, as far as the accessories are concerned, as seen previously, we do get included one sword as well as the shield. You can create individual weapons for Scourge, or personally what I like to do is combine them just to create a slightly more intimidating looking weapon, and that just looks so impressive. The plastic they've cast this out of really does look excellent. Now, in regards to the matrix of leadership, if we just hinge this up, much like some of the other weapons, this too has been cast out of that same metallic pink/purple, and you can see the grip has been fully decked out there in a metallic silver. So that looks really nice, and you can actually fuse this together here with the sword. So just snap that there onto the shield piece. You can have Scourge wielding this weapon, obeying the ruthless commands, of course, by Megatron. And once more, turning to the comparison between the Velocitron Scourge and the original G2 Laser Prime, you can just see how significantly different the colour scheme is. And something of which I thought was such a neat touch is that unlike G2 Prime, which had a complete solid head, Scourge here does have some really nice purple/pink transparent light piping here at the back, which not only matches the original animation model, but really does allow you to bring this character to life in pretty much any lighting setting. You can see here that the lights from the review station really are shining through this piece, and it just creates for such an awesome look. He definitely looks a lot cooler, in my opinion, than G2 Prime, which, let's be honest, kind of had the Deadeye syndrome that we saw with the likes of the Earthrise Optimus. But I'd love to know down in the comment section below, out of the two, which is your favourite, or do you like them equally? And perhaps if you haven't as of yet picked up this G2 Prime, will you now be going out on the hunt for the new Legacy Velocitron Scourge? And so, some final thoughts for this Transformers Legacy Velocitron Leader Class Robots in Disguise Scourge/Black Convoy. Overall, it's a fantastic figure to begin with. I personally have always thought that Legacy G2 Laser Prime was by far the best release that we saw for Wave 1, and even just as a standalone Optimus, it was a pretty impressive figure, a great update on that original G2 Prime design, and to see it this time adapted into the Scourge repaint, I think it looks all the better for it. I really do think that out of the two, at least in my opinion, Scourge looks the best. He really does just take this mold on board. He not only looks incredibly faithful to the original source material, but the colour scheme is just wicked in both modes. That truck and trailer mode looks awesome, but the robot mode looks equally as good, and some of the details, such as the reversed G2 insignias, as well as that purple transparent light piping at the back of the head, I just think is awesome. Such a nice attention to detail has been packed into this release, making it undeniably one of the best repaints that I've so far taken a look at over on the channel, not only this year, but through my entire duration here on YouTube. I really do think this is an awesome redeco on a very impressive looking mold. Definitely be sure to sound off down in the comment section below. What do you guys think of this Velocitron Scourge/Black Convoy? Is it a figure that you plan on adding to the collection? And between the two, Scourge and G2 Prime, which is your favourite? As always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.